Hey, my name is Laimei Yeung, and I'm going to share with you today what is really exciting. And I created it not long ago, and it's called Installing the Cheerleader Back in Your Life. So here is the thing. When you were born, you had a cheerleader in your mind that say, yes, yay, you can do it. You can do everything in the world. Every baby comes on this planet with a cheerleader who spurs them on with phenomenal self-belief, driving them on to do amazing things. So if you watch a baby reaching for a toy or something catches its eye, they keep going. They don't really quit. When a baby tries to walk, they don't really think like, I can't do this, I'm going to fall over. When a baby eats a banana, they said like, you've got this banana in your ear, in your hair, on your forehead, it's not in your mouth. I can't eat it, I just stop. Let other people feed you. I have a picture when the first time I gave my little girl Maria something to eat. She was eating yogurt and it was all over her face. I took a picture. It was so funny. She never gave up in feeding herself. The life of a child is constantly trying to do something, but they never give up. They try to stand up, they wobble, but they keep going because a baby has something in its head. Yeah, you can do that. Yes, keep reaching, keep trying, you'll get there. And the job of a parent, of course, is to be that second voice. Hey, you can do it, come on. I always remember not standing very far from Maria and encouraging her, like, come on, walk to mommy. And when she was walking these wobbly steps, she was like giggling because she was so proud of herself. She didn't only have my voice, she also had her own voice. And, she said like to herself, I can do this. And when we're kids, we get a round of applause for peeing in the toilet. Everything we do is great for most of us, of course. Most of us have this voice because when you're born, your first experience is to be looked at, being judged, being assessed. The doctors, the nurses, the aunties, the grandmother, they come and look at you, at the baby in the crib. The baby doesn't go like, oh, don't look at me, I have spots, I don't have any hair, I'm having a bad day. No, they just give you that big grimy grin. When I walked Maria out, so many people that were saying like, oh, look at her, she's so beautiful, look at her beautiful chubby legs. Oh, and she loved attention because her internal cheerleader said, I'm worth it. A cheerleader, they do this, they wave pom-poms, they say, yay, I can do it. It's so amazing. And even when you lose the cheerleader, she doesn't throw the ping-pongs down. They will always say to the cheerleader, and they're gonna say to the player, like, next time you're gonna win, because the cheerleader is still there, spurring you on, driving you on. So I want you to imagine something. If you had a cheerleader in your head going, yay, yes, this has got your name on it, you can do this, you're amazing at this. No one can do this better like you do. This is you, this is what you're good at. How different would your life be? And it's not just about having a cheerleader. Imagine you have a loving parent. They say, you can do this. I notice how smart you are. No one is better than you. Because here you're the best at. You're better than everyone else. Muhammad Ali said something which I loved. He said, I am the greatest before I even knew I was. And I knew I just became the greatest. Muhammad Ali said to himself, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. He didn't really believe it, but he kept on saying it. and he became the best. Something happened. So when he began to believe it, everyone around him started to believe it. And that's so important. So I want you to think of your life. If you had a cheerleader, a doty parent who absolutely believed in you, who filled you up with belief, and then you had a teacher who said, like, wow, having you in that class is phenomenal. One of my aunts was a phenomenal teacher. She understood that it was so important to make every one of his students, make them believe that they're so smart. But for a lot of teachers, a lot of kids, they put their hand up and they say like, hey, I know the answer. And they tell these students like, you don't know the answer. Stop drawing attention to yourself. You don't know the answer. I have a lot of clients who tell me I was so damaged by the teacher because they said to me in front of the class, oh, the brains in the family run out when they got to you. Or, what's wrong with you? Your sister was in my class. He was so smart. Your brother was so clever. What happened to you? One of my clients said that she was the drip that never dropped. And one of my teachers, he told me, I was so stupid, I couldn't even study Latin, but I finished my 6 years of studying Latin. He didn't even know what he was talking about, but that happens a lot. Lots of teachers telling people you're not smart, but here I am today teaching people about confidence and installing their cheerleader again. Not all teachers do this, but many of you listening would have been wounded by a teacher who diminished your cheerleader, who shut you down, squashed that happy little voice. Look at me. You know, if you go to a park or a swimming pool, you see children who ask their dads or moms, like, look at me jumping in the swimming pool, look at me diving. Wow, look at me running up the slide. Because children, they don't have this filter. They said, don't look at me, I might get it wrong. Don't notice me because I might fail. In fact, they have quite the opposite. They have a cheerleading voice. They say, watch me, look at me. My little girl, she would sing in the car. I could ask her to just put on a little play for me to dance, or she would do it. She loves it. Imagine if I would ask her like to take the pom-poms of a cheerleader and she would perform, she would immediately perform. From 2 to 14, the cheerleader has gone away. The teacher has gone away. The loving parent has gone away. And being replaced with a critical voice. Don't do this, you might look like an idiot. Don't put your hand out, you're going to fail. Don't draw attention to yourself. And often we have relatives too, grandparents, especially from another generation, or uncles, aunts, who are asking you like, why are you parading out there? Nobody's looking at you. Stop showing off. Stop drawing attention. So here's a question I have for you. What happened to your cheerleader? I promised you that you came onto this planet waving pom-poms and saying you can do it, you can do it, you can do anything, you're amazing, you're fantastic. I promised you that even if you didn't have that loving parent cheering you on, up until 18 months, you were cheering yourself on. A baby doesn't wake up and say, big bored, big lonely, I better not wake up the house because everyone is tired, I better not wake them up. No, a baby just wakes everyone up. They just want attention. So you had that. You had the cheerleader, a loving parent, a teacher who taught you were a parent. You were amazing. even a best friend who would told you, who was telling you how amazing you are. So what happened to your cheerleader? What happened to that best friend who believed in you? What happened to that doting parent? You know, I was watching something about Eminem and his horrible time at school. He was locked into lockers, beaten up, hurt, but he was determined to be a rap star. And he went to rap, and he was the only white guy with blue eyes, and he was laughed at. He was laughed from the stage, but back he came and back he came. And you know why he came back? Because he had a cheerleader in his head, and he said, you will be a rap star, you will win, you will make it. And he became one of the most successful, most influential music stars of all time. But if he didn't have his internal voice cheering him on when everyone was booing and laughing him off the stage, he wouldn't have done it. So as a therapist, I often see in my studio, like every month, almost every week, like they say, like, I've written this amazing book, I've written a screenplay, but I don't want to get an agent because they're going to laugh at me. I've got this amazing idea, but I'm scared to present it to my boss because I'm scared they laugh at me. And they always come up with a story as someone in their early life, a teacher, a parent, an older sibling, who laughed at them. I said, no one's going to listen to you. No one's going to notice you. That's a stupid idea. And some people are crushed by that. They're diminished by that. It hurts them. And it makes them shut down. And other people like Eminem, they just go like, I'm going to keep going. One of my clients is a famous lawyer, and she kicked down every door, you know, that she needed to do to become successful. A lot of people were told, you're never gonna make it. John Lennon was told, you're on the road to nowhere. A lot of people didn't have a voice cheering their mom. They had like, you can't make it. Harry Potter, that best-selling book that was rejected, they said, you will never make it. But J.K. Rowling, she came back. Meryl Streep, she was told, you're not attractive enough to be a movie star. But she said, you're only one voice in a sea of a lot of voices, and I'm not going to make this happen. So a lot of people, they come to see me because they've been criticized, and I help them to replace the cheerleader and install that cheerleader in them. So it goes like, I can't do it, I don't want to do it. What if I speak and I stutter and everyone laughs at me? And then you have the Meryl Streeps of the world who are diminished, who are criticized, and they bounce back. They're so resilient, they bounce back as a big rubber ball, like Whoopi Goldberg. She was told that she would never make it, but she had a voice in her head who kept her cheering on. A lot of people have voices who spurs them on, who cheer them on. A lot of people will give up their dream because they don't have that voice. But so I thought, why don't I give everyone that voice? Because if my clients, they can make it, they can become much more successful and believe in themselves because they install that cheerleader. Yeah, let me just do this recording for you and let me install that cheerleader in you. Many of these clients, which I already gave this audio and they had this experience, they said like, I brought my child, my inner child to your talk, and they just see themselves blossoming. And some clients really bring me their kids, their children, and then they see their children blossoming at school. They see them becoming so, so proud. Children from 6 onwards, they can listen to this recording And you can still install that cheerleader in them. So what am I going to do? In a moment, I'm going to take you through a recording where you're going to go back and find your cheerleader, and then you're going to find why they went away and then bring them back again. I promise you, it's not difficult. In fact, it's easy, and it will change your life. Imagine how your life is gonna be when the critical voice has gone away. That voice like, don't do that, you're gonna get it wrong. Or don't ask that person that, maybe they don't know. Don't go out to that girl and ask that girl, do you want to go out with me? Probably she'll reply like, oh, no way. You know, when I wanted to make it as a therapist, I understood that everyone needed to know about me. Not because I'm so proud of myself, or no, because I believe in myself. I believed in myself, so I started to talk with media, and I asked them, do you want to write about me? And I was very happy that the first one said like, yes, oh yes. The second one said, no, of course not. And they just put the phone down. You see what happens? You ring up a media, and this what happens. And they say, no, thanks, I never heard about you. I'm not interested in you, and they just hang up, goodbye. And I could have given up, but I had a cheerleader in myself from when I was really, really small, because I had very diminishing parents, very diminishing siblings, and even family members, but I kept on believing in myself. I was in magazines a lot. I made a lot of these recordings. I helped hundreds of clients until now, and I know this installing the cheerleader will really make a big shift in your life. Even when I was calling up that media and they just hang up the phone, I thought, okay, let's do it again. I had lots of really difficult conversations, but the cheerleader, it spurred me on, and they said, okay, come on, do it, just make that call. You know, you can do it. My cheerleader didn't say, oh no, don't call them. No, they're not going to be interested. You know, they're going to diminish you. They're going to hang up the phone. I used to have that voice like, no, don't do that. No, they won't like you. Oh, they might criticize you. They might leave you, attack you back. I had that voice for a really, really long time. But now I have that voice like, do it now, do it straight away, because you're going to feel so good about yourself, because you have the skills to talk to other people. So now, just before we begin, think about your life with a critical voice. Because for most of us, our cheerleader doesn't go away, but we have a critic who says, you can't do this. You shouldn't do this. Don't even try. You know the expression like dance as if no one is looking? Why do they say that? Because if someone is looking like, they're going to see me dance, I don't have the moves. They also say like sing as if no one is listening. But people will say like, oh, never sing again. That's a horrible sound. Never sing again. You know, for many of us, the cheerleader goes away, and instead of that, a mean critic comes in. If you spoke to your friends as your critic speaks to you, you wouldn't have a lot of friends anymore. The critic says like, don't put up your hand, don't speak to someone because people are not interested. I saw you post a Facebook line, but why did you post that? That was so stupid. You can't speak, you're not good at this, you're bad at it. It starts to shut you down. Criticism, it diminishes people, and you know what builds them up? Praise. So if you take your both hands, hand palms up, when you praise yourself, your hand goes up, 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 up. And when you diminish yourself, criticize yourself, your other hand goes down, down, down. And with this audio, you have the power, you have the motivation to push you up and bring your motivation and confidence in yourself really up. You know, you can have like, okay, my boss was mean, my friend was mean, my partner was mean, but you can leave it. You can say, okay, they just had a bad day. But if you're mean to yourself, it just goes in like you put lotion on your skin. Here's the news: when you praise yourself, it also goes in and it stays with you. When other people say like, oh, you look great, you look so good with that color, suits you, you're amazing, you're doing such a good job. When your boss says you're the best, you're the most indispensable part of the team. By the way, could you work weekends? There's an agenda. Your mind knows that when you praise yourself, there's no agenda. When you put yourself down, there's no agenda, so it must be true. So now I'll tell you one more thing. Nothing will boost your self-esteem so much as self-praise. The most important words you'll ever hear are the words you say to yourself. When you praise yourself, it means so much more. It has such an impact. It goes in more. When someone else does it, it's like, it's so great. You're amazing. What are you trying to get? What are you trying to sell me? How are you trying to manipulate me when other people say this? But you say like, you're so great, you're so amazing, you can do this, you're awesome, this is what you're good at. You only need to be good at one thing, and you're brilliant at this thing. Your mind goes, okay, that must be true. Whatever you tell your mind, it believes it. I promise you. Let me show you something now. So put your two fingers, your thumb and your first finger together, and press really hard. And then with your other hand, put the two fingers together and pull this circle. So you say, my name is Marissa, my name is Marissa, my name is Laimei, my name is Laimei. And you see that your fingers will go separate. And then you say, I'm a boy, I'm a boy, I'm a boy. And if you're a boy, your hand's gonna stick. So when we tell ourselves stuff, that is true. You're smart, you're significant. So let's do that now. I'm smart, I'm significant, I matter. I'm smart, I'm significant, I matter. And now I'm a loser, I'm useless, I'm hopeless, I'm insignificant. Your body becomes weak. You see your hands just remove from itself and they become strong when you praise yourself. So this is your proof. You know, it's very easy. The more you do it, the easier it is. And the more you do it, the better your self-esteem will go up and become stronger and stronger. And you will praise yourself every day. I matter, I'm significant. You have a cheerleader that says, yeah, you can do this. And as your praise muscle grows and it becomes stronger and better, you know what's going to happen? Your criticism muscle is going to wither away and disappear. Do you understand this? So let's go on to part 2, finding out what your cheerleader was like and what happened to your cheerleader. Where do they go? And then we're going to go to part 3 and we're going to reinstall that cheerleader and put it right back.